Yeah. I push 50 points off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Waves crash, pumping our sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. In the neon glow, where is spent, a culture rich, where reason sense, even more no grace. Dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and soaring heights, find your magic near the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. I'm getting my program up to date and installed, getting GIMP fully updated. As we are doing that, there is a couple of things. First off, as I kind of get in myself. We have some big news, major breaking news that I didn't even see. You know, and there's a lot of this breaking, and I wanted to share it. If anybody is in the TikTok, sorry I'm late. Sorry, I'm absolutely late today. And if anybody posted anything, you guys are gonna have to let me know. Sorry. Because we got some big, huge breaking news. This isn't coming from a thing, but we are this country is turning into a point of the country is starting to become to the point of the, and this is absolutely breaking. Democratic Senator Alex Padilla violently attacked and handcuffed by Trump admin for questioning Kristi Noem. That right there, for having the right, you should have the right to be able to question anything that people are doing and have that right. And not only that, that was posted by Brian Tyler Cohen. And then after this, Senator Mike Johnson just called on the senator's censure, Alex Padilla. You read that right. The American Fascist Party at work. And that's one of those things where, you know, where that's not that right there is not being like that right there is being a fascist. I'm sorry, but I am nowhere. It is time that I feel like, you know, I might apply and see if I can. Yay. I want to take the most extensive one here. That is absolutely what I like to call breaking. It is absolutely it's like they're now basically saying you cannot speak your mind, and I actually am kind of glad I. Oh fudge! You know what? We're just gonna have to go around on the roundabout here. I make those ending. I'll fix it later. So it's one of those things where the United States is no longer the country that I thought it was. And oh no. Oh no. I made the wrong decision, the wrong turn. Yeah, 'cause I always forgot that, you know, you're going to activate this place. there, I'm just gotta realize that I gotta go to the back. I meant to go out to turn around, to be honest. But the other thing is, you guys also know in the title, today, so it's one of those things where, you know, you've seen the title, you know what's going on, but that's some major breaking, major. And one of the things that I wanted to really say on all of this is that, you know, it's no way, shape, or form does it absolutely, in a way. And, you know, with this thing, it's like censoring people just because you don't agree with, just because you don't agree with something. It's like these people, if you don't stand and agree with a certain policy and a certain position, then you're in no way, shape, or form are you actually doing your duty. And the United States basically is turning over to being a complete fascist takeover, and I feel like we've seen this. I knew this was gonna come. I just didn't think it would be, you know, I thought it would be like maybe we would see this in a year's time. No, we are seeing this actively within 6 months, pretty much. We're in June, and it's been 6 months, almost 6 months since Trump has been in office, and we are seeing that more. And I'm like, this is starting to become to a point of, you know, I don't want to be here anymore. And not just because of, because it would actually be taking into a point of this contentious plan of mine, or not this contentious, but this contentious thing going on within the United States. You know, it's really sad. But then you go and, you know, you look at the United States and you look at the other bad thing that happened today, or happened over the course of the last few days, was in Australia. Now, of course, I got this. If you don't believe me, go check LGBTQ Nation. I actually got it from there. That a Australian person, a trans person, was going to the bathroom, going to it, and they were basically said, no, you gotta, because you know this person was going out and using the handicapped stall, the handicapped location in the unisex handicapped stall, and they basically said, now nobody, and they basically, the business, I don't know exactly the whole entire story because I only read part of it. I didn't read the whole thing because I needed to get on, and then I caught a couple of glimpses of another story that I basically, okay, I need to talk about this one, truly. And then this new breaking news thing that just came out, like, literally, before I even got on, you know, because I had to make sure and all this. And the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that, you know, the United States is pretty much that way, but then you look at this Australian person. Basically, this Australian said, basically, this trans person had to go and use the male's restroom. Pretty much, you know, said, okay, but this person was a little bit nervous, a little bit scared about using it. Went to use the, always liked using the unisex. I have no problem with people using it. I have no problem, but like if somebody's like within the biz, like if you just happen to go, I don't care. It's bathroom's bathroom, you know. But this person basically, the business basically said, you have to go use the men's restroom, and I'm gonna basically end up blocking the bathroom for you to use. Well, and it's nothing wrong against the use of it. It's just that, where are we headed though? Yeah, because this is the fastest way, because if I had chosen, it would have added yeah, it's not long to get there. It just, if I went the other way, I probably should have looked at it, but it's like, okay. And so this basically, this bathroom issue, it's like, you're gonna block a bathroom that nobody can use now? You're being, and I haven't read the whole entire story on it, but it's one of those things where you gotta pay attention to what's going on around you, and listen to your own local government and local areas, because you're never gonna, and not only that, but make sure that you're listening to news and make sure that you're listening to a lot of these issues. For it. Normally I will tell you, normally guys, okay, actually I can't go that way. Fudge. So normally I listen and I look at all the things going on within these places and looking at all of the stuff going on. And I know I haven't posted anywhere out that I'm live today because I'm sorry, but I will do that here in a minute. Because I forgot to do that. But it's a sad thing to see when a lot of people out there, it's like nobody in their mind is like, you know, they don't care. They just wanna, you know. There are a lot of people who need to use a handicapped stall that are abled. You know, a lot of people who are able might have to go and use the handicap stall, because a lot of times people will go use the handicap stall because it's safe, because they feel safer. I tell you, I myself, if there's nobody in the bathroom, I'll use whatever bathroom there is, whatever toilet there is. But if there's a lot of people, I just go and tend to use whatever. I always tend to go use the back stall because it's like I don't like utilizing a stall that, you know, and that's just me using the stall here. But it's like a lot of people don't seem to understand or realize that, you know, people look at disabled people and say, well, this person's very much capable of able to walk, and it's like, not necessarily. A lot of times, a lot of people who are elderly are going to have a handicap sticker or a handicapped thing for their car or stuff, is because, first off, they have this thing where a lot of them will have canes because they're not quite stable enough to walk, but sometimes, like mostly like wintertime and stuff, and they're gonna have the ability to need to use that, or they just need to be able to, that they can walk for an hour, but then they can't walk for more than that, and they have to have the handicap stall so they can be able to, because if they walk any longer than that, they're gonna collapse or anything like that. So it's like, I understand where a lot of people are coming from with a lot of the disabilities and stuff, and I understand disabilities. You know, there are a lot of people that need to use that, even if they are able. There are a lot of people out there that, you know, who have service dogs. And a service dog is there to help the person in need, and is there to help them when they need it the most, you know. And I understand why some people wouldn't need to use why they would tell you not to use the handicap stall, like this Australian man that basically kept this Australian man that was meant to use that, and I understand a little bit on some of these issues, but then you look at the thing today, within the title within today, there is with another interesting news. I'm just going to tell you, this is going to really hurt a lot of the MAGA crowd, because, of course, MAGA's not somebody that I go out and listen and do everything that MAGA is out there spreading, their love and hate relationship, I guess. But this thing is that Walmart did not expressively come out and say that they support the No King's Day. Okay? But a person in the MAGA space, not in the MAGA space, but in this time, one of the owners basically had put an op-ed in the New York Times and said, telling people how to go and do the No Kings protest. Somebody that's there, and it's like, has no relationship with Walmart in any way, not on the board, not on anything, just somebody who works for Walmart, and they have decided that MAGA is now deciding that they're not going to support Walmart anymore. And I'm like, what are they doing? They are... And it's like, wow, so you guys are all now gonna boycott Walmart because they're gonna be alienated by, because you're alienated because somebody talked about No King's protest on the 14th. I'm like, this is in no way, shape, or form or any relation in relation to this is in no way relationship in any way, shape, or form. And it's all of these things is like these people don't seem to really understand that the No King's protest, hell, the thing that's been going on is I'm going to tell you, if you are out there, make sure that you are peacefully protesting and not just going out there and harming anybody. So, and it's, so it's, so it's all of this thing that's going on, and to be honest, I'm not going out there, but I will be basically pretty much protesting in my own way on Saturday. And it won't be like through the No Kings or anything like that, but it will be a day of where I will not be protesting out and about. I will be protesting online by watching Barnacle if he's on this weekend, by watching him, by spending more time watching him than spending time watching, you know, his Trump's big beautiful parade. You know, he wants Canada to become the 51st state. Canada's not going to let that happen. If Canada gets attacked by the United States, Canada's going to have the back of NATO. They're going to have the back of NATO because NATO's going to be there because Trump has alienated NATO, and he's basically trying to find a way to get out of NATO. And if that's the case, it will be interesting to see what goes on and what happens within all of the process and all of this. And it's like, I know Okay, yeah, this is like cutting it close. And it's gonna be cutting it close to getting out of the way. And it's okay. There is no way, shape, or form that I can go either way, because I'm like making sure that if I spot any places, can I go that way? Can I actively go that way? And I want to go back and just mark it so that after I get this one done, we have a place that I can in Lilyhammer. I can actually get myself out of Lilyhammer and actually yeah, this is why I should really look more close attention to what's going on. That's why I'm kind of going up as fast as I can, not trying to. Yeah, we're gonna. Alright, unloading now. It's good. And now let's go get some rest and see where. Because we do need to get some rest. Do we have a place Oh, we do. It's way over there. I need to go get rest first. Because if I don't get my rest, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to get full rest. They're just spaced just right, too. But it's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, yes, I've already gone through pretty much the topics. I usually like to get into them later, but if you want to see all of the topics and stuff, if you want me to talk on something, let me know. On anything, including the topics that I usually try to come with every day now. Okay, let's rest. Let's do another rest again, just a second rest, just because I don't like to drive at night. And let's go stop at McDonald's. I'm pretty sure McDonald's does not like me driving around in their spot. But, I'm gonna be backing up traffic a little bit here. Let me go to truck dealers. To recruitment aid. Whoops. I meant to go, to company truck manage. Garage. Where? Yeah, I'm missing up here. I gotta make sure. Galloway. We could put one more in Galloway right now. And then Arion. I will. We got the Volvo FH Globetrotter are going into those two slots, but I haven't worked on. Look on it. So, this is the Scania R high roof. So we go to truck dealers now. Let's go to Scania. Let's go buy online. Galloway. There we go. And then we need to go to recruitment agency. Let's go hire a driver. Um. Um. And A. Lawrence D. Emma Dub. Well, Lawrence D's got a mix of that there. Emma W. Um. You know, I actually like you more because you don't have the thing. So you're gonna actually really suit Galloway super well. Um, and you know what? Um, let me go grab some. It's one of those things where, you know, this is where I'm kind of feeling like it's time for me to kind of leave because it's like I'm feeling that right now. Yeah, I think I'll just go this way and go up and around. Service. Nah, I'm just gonna leave it. Service recommended. For that. Now let's get ourselves checking for cargo. Oh, we need to go to the cargo market. Melee hammer. Zora select. You got something a little bit Sandwell. That's going to Rostock. That's going to Donbass. Where's this one? Okay, that's going down that way. That's going back up. I don't want to, like, see for, that goes, that distance. That's expected. Trying to see what would be the best. I'm gonna maybe see. Okay, I've only been playing for it. Actually, it's right back here. Because I wanted to go to explore more of. That's Thursday the next day, so we should be okay. Why? I drive really horribly right I don't know what. Hey, actually, this time I'll actually be able to load. Normally, I don't get to do that very often. Yeah, trying to drive around in this place is... Yeah, there's like, there is no, like, in order to get back there, there is like no ramp to get back there, and so it's like you're gonna have to be careful on how you get back there over here. Trying to get out of this. I can't believe I turned on the wrong blinker. A little bit wider turn just to get out of here. Well, we'll see where we go and how we... But... all I would have to do is not put those things. Really? Will we absolutely be able to make $1 million? We'll be able to make $1 million at some point. And actually be able to, do it, because right now we have touched $1 million. And we have made $1 million, but will we actually be able to always make $1 million, like, in profit all the time, and I just can place wherever I want to place everywhere? Then that'll be what we're doing there. But so yeah, so within all of this, it's, you know, if you're protesting out on Saturday, please make sure that you keep yourself in check, keep yourself in mind. Don't just, you know, I'm not going out there to do it because of... Yep, we gotta wait for the light to turn green. Just make sure that you guys are protecting yourselves. Don't just go out there and do it. Are you... Are you serious? This is only time I usually don't do this very often, but when I have something like that, like you think you turn and then you get damaged because of it, and it's just ridiculous. But always, guys, make sure that if you do anything appropriately, that you do it within the protection of what is right and what you need to be doing, and don't just go out there and protest just because they're doing it. You have to do it with a purpose. You have to do it with absolutely that purpose. And that purpose is to protect and to do it, because if you don't, you're in no way, shape, or form actually doing yourself any service by just doing it, because you're just there to riff off of it. So, always, guys, just make sure that what you do and how you do it this weekend, keep yourself safe. Thank you guys for joining the YouTube side. Remember, if you guys are enjoying any of the things today, or you're on TikTok or Trovo, wherever you guys are watching from, make sure you guys hit that follow. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe. It's always greatly appreciated. Because if you aren't subscribed, you aren't doing much of any service by not subscribing. And make sure that if you have any ounce of stuff, you gotta make sure that you are protecting your life. Make sure that you protect your family's life, and do what you gotta do. If you have the opportunity, you need to get this done immediately. Try to get this done now. Don't wait. If you live in a place, make sure that you have a contingency plan in place. Make sure that you have that plan in place, that in case if something goes south, that you have that opportunity to get out. Because you may not want to get out, but you might have to. You might have to get out of the United States. You might have to do it to protect your family, to protect your nation, to protect you. And if you cannot, and if you feel like you're not being able to fight, look. The recent issue on with it is that this guy basically got himself into trouble for dissing on Kristi Noem, and we should have every right to diss on Kristi Noem, diss on that capability. And that's what we should be doing, is we should be out there protesting against these kinds of things. Not forcing people to be arrested because they decide they dislike somebody. If you dislike Trump, you dislike Kristi, you dislike these people, then what's the point? And that's the truth. And it's like, you got to think about what you do and how your life. Don't just be silent. Like, if you get arrested, you get arrested. You're standing up. You're willing to stand up, and anybody that's not with this, the thing recently with the military, it's like, it's gonna be... it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be tough for all of us. It's gonna be tough for... But you gotta make sure that you do what's right and don't just capitulate. Don't just be like MAGA and become a point of you support one person and you don't, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to continue to support it. And it's one of those things where, you know, if you can believe this and believe the Trump regime, and if you believe in everything that Trump stands for, you are not in any way, shape, or form a supporter of Donald Trump. You are in support of fascism. You are in support of a takeover of the United States. You are in support of abolishing the Constitution. You are in support of basically harming anybody that doesn't stand your belief and your stance. Basically, i.e., if you don't stand with Donald Trump, you're pretty much basically SOL now, because with all of this, and it's like it's very cruel what's going on. It's very cruel to see all of this and see people get hurt, and I don't like seeing people get hurt. I don't want people getting hurt, and it's like these protests that happened over last weekend and still going on. It's becoming unrealistic for a lot of people. You know, I will tell you, I do not want to die under a regime like Donald Trump. You know. And that's a sad reality. That it's sad to see people having to stand to believe a man and believe somebody that's just out there to support the country and support the issues of that. You are basically, you know, when you talk about Russia and you talk about Ukraine and you talk about the thing that Russia did. Basically, Russia took children from Ukraine. Basically, considering that's human trafficking. Human trafficking is pretty much anybody that's pretty much legal to be here, and then you just decide, oh, I'm going to deem them illegal now. And when you start doing that, that's basically taking that state sanctioned. Or it is sanctioned to basically take that and use that for as human trafficking. And it's like a lot of people will say, oh well they're just doing it right because they're trying to protect these kids. Well, they're not protecting these kids. Look, there was a thing recently where one of these protesters was just coming out, and all they did was went out and was starting to park the car and this, well, there was a probably somewhere around like a 8 or 9 year old, pretty much a child, and it was ridiculous. it's ridiculous to see people out there trying to put these kids into harm's way. They're basically, they don't care about anybody's life other than their own, and they want to harm children. They want to take away these children, and that's what they want. They don't want anything other than putting it out there to harm innocent people. And this country has basically decided to go that route. It basically allowing criminals to be criminals and allowing people to support it. And it's like, if you look at these countries that are being alienated right now, Canada especially, Canada is not backing down from Trump. They are standing up to him. They're not wanting to become the 51st state, and and that's what should be happening. I need to keep my momentum, because if I don't, I can slip back and fall behind. Okay. Okay, so I got 5 hours, right? The next place is 2 hours from now. For it, so I think I might do that one there. Over near Carlstead. So I'm gonna try to get off right away, because I gotta make some supper tonight. I gotta do a lot of things. But guys, if you guys are enjoying today, remember, I like to try to have some sort of news. I like to talk about the news. It's one of those things that I really do. And I know I'm not talking about it right now because I started talking about it at the beginning of the show, but so we will so there's like no way I'm gonna come back through here. So I'm just gonna go around this little inlet, but you know, it's gonna be one of those. Let's try to get some rest up here though when we can, because we need to get to a point of rest. Now it's sad to see that people are getting snatched up because of their issue with, you know, your skin color. It is now starting to become a point of contention. It's the same thing that happened in 1930s. That people now are being snatched up off the street just because of their color. It's not just becoming a immigrant issue. It's becoming a thing. If you say that you do support him and you are of non-white descent, you are pretty much in trouble. We're gonna get gas here as well. Even though I don't need it, I'm gonna grab it. It's always good to grab the gas when you can. I slowed down. I don't get it. Okay. Alright, before we go any further, let me go to Garage Manager. Let's go down here, let's upgrade you. Which now gives us the full range of that place. I always just skip the video on it. I do this so that I can experience, because I'm never going to come down through here again unless I'm playing online. So it's just one of those things, guys, where it's just like, I am not happy with the United States. I will tell you, in 2024, I was kind of like, okay, can we really protect ourselves? Can we really defend ourselves from fascism in 2024? Thought we had that opportunity in November. Unfortunately, it's getting a lot worse today now because, you know. And I feel like we're gonna see it, not just from Trump, but I think we're gonna see it in general from a lot of people within. You know, we're seeing Kristi Noem, we're seeing a lot of it happen, and I'm just not happy with the current state of affairs, to be honest. It's one of those things where I've kind of feel like I have lost interest in wanting to not lose interest. But I have and it's like one of the things that if you look at Donald Trump and you look at the things now, it's like if you want to talk about Canada, I'm going to talk about a little bit about it. If you want Canada, Trump, well, you're going to inherit wildfires. You're going to inherit a country that has a lot of wildfires. You're going to inherit a country that stands for democracy, that stands for it, and you're going to look at it that if you do that, you're going to really look at the Canada and say, you're out of your mind. He is looking like Trump is just looking for reasons to try and take a country, and it's like these countries, like if he tries in any way, I hope that NATO stands up to it and stands to fight against Trump, and I hope that it does happen. If that ever does try to come to a point where, you know, NATO gets alienated, I hope that we can shave off and fight, because that's the whole point of all of this. Is that we need to have the ability to fight. We need to have that ability to do what's right and not capitulate. And unfortunately, a lot of people here in the United States are kind of like a lot of people. Are basically just going along with it, and they may have just 5 years ago. They may have, may not have supported Trump, and so I'm just like, and so I'm like, I'm just not happy with it. I'm just not happy with. There is going to be one that I am going to switch. That I'm going to do after I get this delivered. How far do we got left to go? Okay. We should be able to get there before 5:30. I might get off now. I might just go and find another resting spot. Just sit there. And go, because I gotta go make some supper. I am not happy with people. There's a lot of people who I thought wouldn't support him, and they now support him more than ever. And I'm just not happy with it. I'm not happy with Trump. I'm not happy with this country. With a lot of people supporting him, I thought this country would they would have some support, but I thought after January 6th, I thought the support would have gone down. No one would have supported him. All those people that did would but sadly a lot more people support it than I ever thought. truth. I'm gonna see if I can go up a little bit. No, it's only at 73. Trying to go up the hill, it's... Really? I didn't realize I was going further down. Alright. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye on the road, on the map, just to make sure I'm going the right way. I love the fact is, I'm actually now in Finland. I was over in Norway. You know, it's interesting that we now have finally officially connected. I've seen Norway a little bit. We're now back into Finland. We are still visiting a lot of places. I'm just trying to pick routes that have less where I try to pick where I try not to pick like long routes. I did that one time. I took a long route, but I did that and said, okay, I'm going to take this one long route, and then I'm going to use whatever I can from that route to start going and making money and getting funds to produce. And we're doing that. We're doing pretty well for ourselves here. And just remember, guys, if you guys are enjoying yourselves today, remember, hit that follow. It's great that you guys are following. If you're watching on TikTok, if you guys are watching on YouTube, if you guys are watching on Trovo, remember, all of those, if you follow, subscribe, you know, those are the basic things you do. I are free. Subscribing, however, if you do subscribe on Trovo, it will cost you a little bit. If you want to support me and help me out, you guys can also go to Ko-Fi as well by doing that and getting a little bit of that help. Just by being here, guys, just by being here, it gives that help and stuff. And then you guys can also, not only that, if you guys want to enjoy some good content outside of just me, you guys can always go check out the link tree. I have a whole host of content out there that you guys can go and watch other places and get your place to be able to hear and listen on it. And it's absolutely okay. I don't mind it being at 77, to be honest. And it's always good that you guys are here to watch and be informed. Remember, if you do not want all the information from me, I want you guys to know that you guys can go over to like most of my stuff that I get my information from, and I'm going to tell you a lot of my information just directly comes from these platforms, from these people, from David Packman, Midas Touch, Fair and Cousins / Fair and Balanced, over there, from him, and also through the Ring of Fire. They're both of his places, and then you also the Midas Touch Network. For And it's just great to see people out there willing to kind of stand up and fight. But you know, for me, it's not that I'm not scared or anything. It's just I just don't want to be in front of all of this war and stuff. And I just, you know, I've been thinking about it, and if I do, I'm going to do it effectively. It's something that, you know, I can do. It is something that, you know, I can absolutely do a certain job that I'm looking in. I don't know, we'll see how things go. I don't know, I'm kinda like, I don't want to, but I need a job, and to be honest, I just need a job, to be honest. But this is one that I think it would be very much something I think I can apply, and I think I'm going to. And it's not something I really want to really do, but I know how to do the job. But it's not something I wanted to do in the first place. I've always wanted to stay here and stay in the United States as much as I can. And unfortunately, I might not be able to. It might be just something that I probably won't be able to do much anymore. Okay. Yep. We are gonna take this boat, and we're literally right off the other side of this, so I should be fine. I'm gonna hop off at 5:30. Getting gas? Not right now. It's one of those things where I'll probably get gas at some point, but right now I don't think I need to. But one of the things that I do listen to, guys, and I know you guys can't hear it today, but, I'm pretty sure So I always thought that you're supposed to go that way. No, which is really dumb. But when you look at the issues of what's going on, there's also this big other thing that you guys have probably heard, and don't talk about it because if it's already being talked about majorly, and major networks then I don't usually talk about it. But there was this plane that crashed. Air India. I believe it's Vespi. Yeah, we're going the right way. Okay, it's Vespi. Hey, I don't think I'm gonna be late on this one. Absolutely not late. But I will tell you guys, I am going to be working on getting the Volvos, as soon as I'm done. I'm going to work on getting the Volvos set up as well for it. Getting there. Hey, it's 80 miles an hour, which is surprising that it's 80 when you got a... Okay, so this is another roundabout as well. Nice. I like roundabouts actually, to be honest. Roundabouts are not as hard as I thought they would be. I'm just going to confirm that. Alright, guys. Let me... Okay, so we have 281. Let me go to truck manager. To be an Iveco. This Iveco is going to get changed. We're going to upgrade you to an active sleeper. I'm going to hit confirm on this. But then we're going to take and we're going to copy the config. It'll extend that pay out to that Iveco. That right there looks a lot like Corrales. And for anybody who doesn't know, that's one of the guys that I used to so much. But anyway, Orslo T. Yeah, wanting to keep my eye on and see what a lot of my drivers are up to, because you know, we're gonna actually go by. Let me go and check the garages. Like, this guy is going pretty much has gotten the long distance. So I'm gonna give him back to Frank N. He's got the long distance now. So now I'm gonna give him back to balanced. Frederick F. is there. Now all of those have been going for balanced on that. Then we got over Berlin is getting pretty high. Bode's not me. I'm the only one that has the high ranking on everything. And then Let Me Soul is absolutely getting better. Madrid is highly sought after. Then in Ravashik is also there. We got Chris K, who has also gotten the long distance. I wanted to make sure that some of those guys have that long distance right off the bat, so that they can get more money. And then in Taruk, it's kind of well balanced there, but Martin S, we're now going to put you back into the balanced fold. Put you back into balance, Millie R. I did that for a lot of these. A lot of those guys went for longer distance so that they can get more longer. And that's what I did there. I'm making sure that nobody else has the longer distance. But since we have the money, I want to make sure, before I do get off, okay, so that you have been fully there. We can put 2 more when we have the opportunity to work on the Volvos, to getting my company that way, to having all of the Volvos sit to do that. We're going to go 6, 12, 2025, 1. I will be on later to, actually no, it'll just be 6. Not, it'll be on tonight, for it. So, anyways, if you guys want to see more content, remember, hit that like, comment, subscribe here on the YouTube side. If you're watching and you want to see vertical content, come over to the TikTok side. TikTok is there, and then also the Trovo side. On that. And if you guys are here. Make sure you guys are subscribed here on the Trovo site, because the Trovo, remember, subscribing on Trovo is not free, but it does help a little bit. By sending also elixirs helps a little bit here on Trovo. I don't think I missed anybody. Anybody here? And then I also want you guys to know, and then also you guys can, thanks M Hung for joining the TikTok live. Sorry guys, but I am getting off. It is that time for me to get off, so, but thanks for joining. Remember, hit that follow. Remember, I'm live every day, Monday through Friday, Saturday, and, Sunday at 9 p.m. start time until 2 a.m. for night streams, only on TikTok and Trovo. YouTube does not get that. And Sunday is until 1 a.m. And then, I do my afternoon streams exclusively, on all these platforms, on YouTube, TikTok, and Trovo, afternoons until from 3 to 5:30. So, sometimes go a little bit over, but anyway, yeah. So if you want to see any of that, you guys can be subscribed. Go check out the link tree, and we'll see you guys later.